We're recording.
Okay, so I got the recording sign up there.
Yeah.
Can you hear the music there?
No.
Oh, you just know that it's.
Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of In the Zone, No Control Zone playoff recap. And once again, with me this week, 2 weeks in a row, I got Mr. Keith Salzer with me. How you doing, Keith?
Defending champ right here, guys.
All right.
Somebody's getting that cup.
Yep. Defending champ, passing it. You had it for 2 years and you never saw it.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I was just too damn lazy. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I can only do it if Dean wins. I'll bring the cup down with Dean's engraved in there as well, and I'll give it to you, and you can.
I don't want it. I gotta move. That's something else I have to take.
I'll at least let you take a look at it.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
We'll maybe get a picture of you or something for on the webpage and whatnot. So anyway, it looks like we're pretty much down to it, and it's still up in the air right now. We got a couple of things to talk about before we get into it, and I was just telling Keith a little theory that I think is going to happen now that the Montreal Canadiens, the Canadiens went and clinched tonight. I have a strong feeling that the last three Canuck and Flame games are going to get canceled. I think this is why the NHL hadn't made any dates yet. The Islanders just finally got their dates. They're next Saturday. So if they don't cancel those games and those games go on, I'm going to have to end the week where it is and do everything by hand, because it'll start counting all the playoff games, right?
Right.
So at least I think it would count the playoff games. I don't know how that would work, but I don't think CBS is set up for the situation that's just about to happen in our league right now. So be looking for that. So I got a feeling the last, maybe the last two Canuck Flames games going, and there's a lot of reasons behind it too, right? The Canucks are playing 8 games in 11 nights. So you're looking at a lot of possible injuries there, and I don't know if they'd be willing to do it with both teams being out of the playoffs. What do you think, Keith?
Well, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the only thing that they'd be losing is the revenue for the TV rights, right? So
not really, because you're going straight into playoffs, so you're not losing nothing.
I know, but the Flames,
as a matter of fact, they'd be losing money. They'd be losing money by putting those games on.
Oh, okay. Well, then it would probably make sense. Yeah. But no matter what the case is, I mean, at the end of the day, because of COVID, at least we got a season in. And sadly, there's going to be games at the end of the playoffs that aren't going to count, and it sucks for those that have those players. But it is.
I got a couple. I got Tajik Backlund.
Yeah, so which could make a difference in the long run. But you know what? We all have to absorb what we've got, and we all knew going in that COVID was there, and if we end up only losing 3 games all year, good job by the NHL.
Well, this is just my guess, and I'm just guessing this. And if there is one thing I do know about Bettman, though, he is a little bit stubborn when he says we will have a full 56 game schedule. He may just do it because he said there would be a whole 56 game schedule.
Yeah.
And I could see Bettman kind of doing that. You know what I mean?
The only other thing that I could see is maybe the Players Association might be saying, no, we want these games being played because guys might have bonuses.
True.
Right. So that could be something that, a lot of the scoring players sometimes will have bonuses set in for X amount of goals. Right.
But it's
so a guy's sitting on 28 goals and 3 games left, and he needs, 2 goals to get 30, I could see the league possibly saying yes, but the Players Association should be backing the players right away, saying, yeah, we need these games played because these guys are not going to get their bonuses if they don't score those goals.
Well, the one thing they'll get paid 3 games for doing nothing.
Yes. Yep.
So they're going to make their money up, and I'm not sure how the incentives are really working this year with a 56 game schedule too. You know what I mean? if those bonuses were written into an 82 game schedule, odds are whoever's going for the bonuses aren't going to get them anyway in 56 games.
Right.
Unless
Well,
your name's, unless your name's McDavid.
Right. I was just going to say McJesus, right? A fucker. 100 and some odd fucking points already. You know, like, give me a fucking break. That's Gretzky like.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But that being said, I think when he has to play a full schedule against every team, he probably doesn't run these kind of numbers.
That's possible. Yeah. I have to agree with that. And I think the same's for Matthews, even though I tell you, man, Matthews, I've never seen a guy make scoring look so easy. Like he just makes it look so easy. He looks like a man playing against 13-year-olds when it comes to shooting at like a 13-year-old goaltender or something. It doesn't matter, man.
Well, it almost makes you think that, you know, you go back to the 70s and you think of the goalie equipment way back then.
I know.
You know, he would have been a legitimate 50 and 50 guy, right?
He would also have about a 10-pound Sherwood PMP in his hands as well.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, graphite sticks are pretty nice.
And he would have a really shitty pair of skates on. And you just almost can't compare the eras, right? They're just so different in so different ways. You just have to accept them for what they were. Like Bossy and Gretzky and Lemieux and Howe and all Honor, those guys, they were great in that era. I mean, they were the best. And now it's just a whole new animal. So we're just getting new people for new comparatives, right?
Yep.
All right. So why don't we dive into the week here? And man, it's an exciting one for the Bremen Cup.
That. Well, you know, even the cellar dwellers are paying attention, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let me bring her up here. What we got?
Fuck you, JP.
Man, he went storming out of the gates this week.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I beat him at the right game.
That's right.
I won it 2 years ago. So
there you go. I completely forgot that JP was in a final. I absolutely 100% forgot that. That's pretty good for JP. Well done, JP.
Yeah, if you'd said his lineup, I think I recall in my mind, he would have beat me that week too.
You know? Oh, he would have beat me in week one. I know, I barely squeaked out a win on him in week one. Anyway, we're talking about the 16th, 15th, and 14th, and 13th best teams. Let's talk about the best. How about look at how this one's shaping up? This is as of all the games included last night. So we're going to take a look at that first. So this was up going into tonight. So it was a 3-3 tie for the Wolfpack, and that is hugely important because if Bo gets a tie, he's winning the Bremen Cup. And
absolutely,
and it happened on a -2 for Dean last night. So so Dean needs to get on his horse here. And at the moment, they're currently tied with 39 points going into tonight, but Dean really made up his ground with the goaltending points, and that's what's saving him for game 3.
Yeah. Based on what we already know from tonight's games, though, I think Vasilevsky lost tonight.
Right.
Luckily, he did get him back because the last time we were chatting last week, Vasilevsky had an injury sign beside his name, and apparently he's played. So
yeah. So now he puts up a 5 spot though.
Yeah.
It's ironic. Both after the display that Renee and Dean put on with the goaltending, they both shit the bed going into the So the week I was going, nobody could beat those guys in goaltending. Well, they're getting beat. So let's just take a look at the line score here. So plus minus is close there for Dean. You could also win that. And of course the points. Points is tied. So whoever wins points for the rest of this week is probably going to win game 2. And if that happens, it's looking like Bo's only out is assists at 46-42.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tight. It's tight, man.
Well, you never know, though. You know, like we just seen earlier in the week here, where a lot of guys double down on a lot of penalty minutes in one night, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's not something that we've seen a lot of this year. So
that's true.
You never know. I mean, one errant stick, you know, 5-minute major or a 10-minute match penalty for being stupid, right?
Yep.
You know, ragdolling somebody is a 10-minute match penalty, and then you get the 10-minute game misconduct that goes with it. That's 20 minutes right there. You know, so guys can bounce back in penalty minutes. But that's fantasy hockey, right? You know, as you were saying about the goalies, you know, a couple of weeks ago, you had a stellar matchup between the two top teams in goaltending, and this way they shit the bed. But guess what? That's fantasy hockey, right?
That's it in a nutshell. Well, definitely for when it comes to fantasy
I
hockey.
fucking hate
Don't have to
fantasy
look
hockey.
I hate it. That's my favorite saying is I hate fantasy hockey. Well, I'm glued to it every year. All right, so let's take a look at what's happened since yesterday. And it looks like Bo's making a move. He needed to make a move tonight. So let's see what's been happening here. Lots of goals for Bo. 6 minutes and penalties. That probably helped them.
Ruda looks like he's just come back from he was injured there. So it looks like they're getting him in for some games before the playoffs start.
Yep. And once again, Vasilevsky let the team down. Wow, 867. It's crazy. And I believe that was Drieger who came back tonight for Florida who got that shutout, I think. Or either that or it was Spencer Knight, which is my prospect. Well, in one of my leagues, I can't remember which one. I got
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit early still. I mean, it's, you know,
well, tonight
I would really
it is a big night. Like this is the last big night of the season.
Okay.
The rest of the teams are just making up games. And right now, currently at this moment, 16 teams no longer play a game.
Okay.
There's only 14 teams left now still playing. So after tonight, so it's going to get pretty sporadic for a couple of days here as the teams zip them off here. But let's take a look. We didn't actually look at the total, so plus minus will be done at the end of the night. Dean's still up there on the assists. The goals are definitely for Bo. That's easy for him. Wow, high penalty minutes for both teams.
Yeah, see that, and that's what I just said a few minutes ago. You know, like not knowing that Ruda's back, and all of a sudden he's got 6 penalty minutes, and you know, all of a sudden 6 more penalty minutes, and now he's at 49, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, so it's just one major can make a big swing for this kind of a series. So the one thing I'm glad is that at least nobody's walking away with it.
Yeah. Well, I see Kadri, since we started the podcast, he got an assist. So Dean's within 1 point of the pack right now. So it's still so super close. This one's going right down to the wire. How
I guess the other question that you could possibly look at is that how many games will these guys have left after tonight?
Who?
You know, will that play a part?
I took a look at it, and before tonight, I believe Dean had 28 games and Bo had something like 18 games left.
Oh, see, that's 10 games.
Yeah, it's big, but I don't know how it evens out after tonight. But okay, well, I'll tell you what. Well, why not? Let's go to it. Let's find out. Now, 2 nights aren't on this, though. So let's go to Colwood Rangers. Let's bring up their schedule. All right. Well, Dean has 2 big nights. Well, yeah, 2 more big nights. Well, 1 more big night. And the 13th will be fairly good for him, too.
Yeah.
He's got nothing in those remaining games. Like there's a bunch of Vancouver, Calgary games back here. But ones that I think are going to be eliminated.
Which, you know what, in a roundabout way, I don't think either one of these guys have any of these guys, those guys.
No, they don't. Which is good. Which is good.
Yeah, because then, you know, like it's, you know, somewhere along the line, some of the cellar dweller teams might get hurt a little bit by having these guys. But I don't, you know, like it's better for fantasy as far as I'm concerned that these guys aren't going to be affected by a loss of games possibly. Whoever wins it is going to win it outright.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be an outright win.
I just counted after tonight's game, Dean has 20-man games left.
Okay.
So that's what he's got to go. So let's take a look at Bo now. See what Bo's got happening. Where are you, Bo?
Look, I just can't believe the numbers that he keeps putting up.
I know. Well, he's been,
you know, like it's not stellar the way that he's been going, but fuck, he's still at 40 points. You know, like that's.
He's been doing it for 2 months now.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Look, ouch.
Yeah. So,
4,
Dean can run them
6,
down.
10, 12. So 20 games to 12.
That's 8 games.
That's
When
a
the
big
difference is
difference.
1 point right now for game 2.
Yeah,
I like Dean's chances based on that alone.
yeah, absolutely. That's
But not to say, you know,
but
the games still need to be played, right?
that's right. All Bo needs is like for right now for this game as we go back to it here. So just to tie this thing up, all he needs to do is he's winning it right now. So basically, he just has to hang on to
No, the
3.
Pack's winning.
Yeah, the Pack's winning 3,
Yeah.
4-3. So if they do that, I'm thinking if the Pack can get ahead by a bit of margins in some of these categories, it can always, even though you've got games left, it can be really tough getting those points. Like you don't know if your guy's going to be sitting that night,
Yep.
resting up for the playoffs and stuff like that. And don't forget, these games are later than the rest of the teams that have quit. So
Yeah.
are they really going to want to have their guy going or not? I don't know. Hard to
Yeah.
tell. But
Yeah.
right now, it's anybody's call. I think if Dean can get it to a third game, he'll be fine. But
Well, at the end of the day,
he's got to get there.
Game 3 is good. Like I said, it's better because I'll guarantee that both these guys are sitting scoreboard watching tonight.
Of course, it depends.
I don't even think it's just those two guys. I think it's the rest of the league's probably scoreboard watching too, because everybody's got a vested interest, right?
Yeah, they should be because it's fun. It's just it makes part of fantasy is what makes it fun.
Absolutely, I agree.
So I'm just gonna say right here now, this one is not even close to being decided one way or the other. But
absolutely,
I do give Dean that little bit of the edge with the 20-12. That helps a lot. That helps a lot for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, so we both agree. Think maybe the Rangers with just a bit of an edge.
Well, again, also it comes down to the injuries too. Like Panarin's out, so but then I also know that McKinnon's not playing.
There was yes, he is. He's playing tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually benefits Bo then because
that helps a lot because 3 of those games are McKinnon.
Okay. Yeah.
Tonight and 2 more. But he's playing Vegas, who right now are fighting the Islanders for the Jennings Trophy. So
absolutely,
they're not going to want to give up any
they're going to try to win it for their goalies, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll all be about keeping the puck out of the net rather than scoring.
And last I seen in that one, it was 1-0 Vegas after 1. I see St. Louis.
Okay.
St. Louis and LA are 0-0 after 2 right now. So that's the way that one sits. If you want to take a look here, we can take a look. These are the remaining teams with games left. So Washington with 1, Boston with 1, Montreal with 1, Ottawa with 1, San Jose with 1, Vegas 2. However, it'll be 1 after tonight. Toronto 2. Minnesota 2, Edmonton 2, Winnipeg 2, Colorado 3, 2 after tonight, St. Louis 3, 2 after tonight, Los Angeles 3, 2 after tonight, and Calgary with 4, and Vancouver with 6. That's I just don't see them playing those Calgary Vancouver games.
If they're mean nothing games, the only other way that I would say is that the only way that they'll be able to even consider the lottery, then they're going to have to play it based on win percentage, right?
That's true.
Because there's another aspect that it could change, and that's
so maybe they will try to get full 56, and then I'm wondering.
Yeah, because those two teams are obviously going to be, one of them very well could be in for the lottery, right?
Yeah.
So you never know. I guess I just, like you said earlier, it comes down to Bettman.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to give a big shout out to one of our members in the No Control Zone. Shout out going out to Renee. Congratulations to Renee and the West Coast Hockey Pool, which I also play in. Renee is the Dynamo Harrison Hot Springs Smeal Cup champions in the league that we're in there. So I'm beginning to wonder, I think maybe Renee should quit his day job and just, hockey pool it. Anyway, want to send congratulations out to Renee. Great job, Renee. Well done. Nothing from
Impressive.
Keith.
Well, fucking, as long as it's not the Goss.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Good job, Renee.
I'm pretty sure the whole league was cheering for Renee over Darren. Well, except for probably Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think so. All right, so let's go back and take a look at the third place money game here.
That's a blowout.
It is a blowout.
Kudos to the Oilers because you know, everybody was picking Nick all the way, and it's pretty much come down to no, that don't matter. And you know, it goes back to Monday night too. The Oilers had a pretty big night, the very first night of the week of week 2. And I think he put up 14 points or something, and that was amazing.
17 points or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, it was like a Saturday large type thing, and yeah, that's pretty much dictated it. And Nick, you better regroup and try to get back up there in the next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. If you take a look at it too here, I don't really see Nick with any opportunity of coming back here. The discrepancy is just too large in those.
He's got the key guys on the Canucks with Besser and Hughes, but that's just too much to overcome.
Yeah,
even with the amount of games.
But let's take a look and see how he is doing tonight. So, or after tonight, so maybe see if he made anything happen.
Well, I'm gonna think that the Oilers are probably putting a good night in.
Yeah, they're 63 points. The Knicks 41.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, this one.
I'll just send the money to the Oilers now. And by the way, everybody, get your goddamn money in so that the money is.
Well, they don't even know. They don't even know what they owe yet. We gotta wait until it's all done.
Why?
Why? Well, because you don't do unless you know what your transaction fees and everything are.
Yeah, well, at this stage, nobody can make any roster moves except sign. Well, you can't even sign a prospect now.
No, I know. Well, yeah, you could sign a prospect.
Well, what's the point?
You couldn't get him in the lineup, not for this week.
So at this stage of the game, the reality is that there's going to be no more transaction fees.
That's correct.
So take a peek at the details.
Do you really think the people in this league are going to go in and figure it out on their own and then send in some money?
It makes it easier on the guys that are running it. Come on, boys, step it up.
Well, you know what? That's Al's thing. And yeah, that's pretty much his
matter. It's all our thing, you know, like fucking this is part of the process of all the fun that we have. And you know, take some responsibility and just make it easy for everybody. We've all been in other leagues where, you know, it stretches out over the course of the summer. True. It's frustrating for the guys running leagues, right?
True, but this is Al's one big thing for the league. I pretty much do everything else.
Oh, fuck.
So let Al do his job.
Can't call him skipper for no reason, right?
That's right. Yeah, so anyway, it looks like the Oilers got this one big time in hand. Why don't we go check out now, see how they did in the 9/11 draft pick games here. Bring that up.
I think that the Bears pretty much walked all over that one.
Look at the Bears, 67 points after yesterday. That was crazy. That was crazy. That's a brand
121 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like that's fucking sick.
Yeah, that is a brand new no control zone record for the folks wondering out there. And the record will stay at 67. We're not going to add on the extra after this week. That was 1 week totals of 67 points there for Dan. And to me, the most amazing thing about the 67 points is that he's losing.
Yes. Well, that just goes to show you, you know, you can build 1 through 12, 1 through 6, and them 18 players can put up as many numbers as you like. But if you don't have goalies and a little bit of toughness and a little bit of puck luck with the plus minus, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, you know, it's obviously evidently showing right now. But this is the reason why Rene has also won the league a few times too. And why he just won the West Coast Hockey Pool, because he gets those categories more than anybody else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
you know, and he just knows how to compete in those categories. And so yeah, there's just 4 points, right?
Yep. So actually, so I don't think Dan's too worried about this game because he pretty much has game 3 locked up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like it's Renee's got the plus minus, obviously, by the looks of it. I don't think that you're gonna mind you, that could be swing, 10-point swing one way for the Bears and a 10-point swing for the Lakers. That changes it. But that being said, you can't rely on that kind of stuff,
Well,
and
I was behind.
how many minutes is close too, eh?
Yep. Yeah, but it's in Renee's favor though. That's the problem.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's done.
Yeah. Well, the only thing he could do is the save percentage, but he's got so many shots, it's gonna almost impossible to raise your save percentage by 12 percentage points when you've already had 340 shots against you. He probably has a better chance of hoping that Dan's goalie shit the bed than him being good. So he could get the save percentage. Is what we talked about last week. Actually, this is exactly what we talked about last week. I said, remember I said to you, if he wins a plus minus, gets pins and gets the goaltending ones, he can win this thing. And
absolutely.
But he just didn't come back enough in the save percentage. However, if we go to their game tonight and see what's going on there, I think things might have changed up just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough for Renee, but it is a little different. All right, where are they? Get out there. This thing. So the save percentage has changed big time. So Dan had Mrazek put up an 815 tonight. So wow. Wow, it'd be interesting to see if that could move the needle a little bit on 927 that Dan has. So 815. Well, that's really bad. And
Mrazek got lit up. Yeah. But the one thing that doesn't help Renee there is the fact that Renee got the start tonight with the shutout.
Yeah.
And so that's a lost opportunity for Renee there. That 1,000 would be pretty happy at this stage.
Nashville, no more Nashville games. And
done.
But he could have Hellebuck come back, but
no, I don't think so. I don't think Winnipeg can't move from where they are, can they? I think
sure. They're 1 point ahead of Montreal.
Oh, well, those games will have to be played.
Oh, hold on a second though. Oh no, Montreal still has another game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think up to about the 14th or 15th, they have to play those games. And like I said, so next Saturday, I know the Islanders play, or this Saturday coming up for their first game. So I still think the American's going to start a little bit before the Canadian division, but I just don't see this finishing out. I really don't, because it'll really throw a wrench into the Leafs' plans for going all the way. Like they've come out a pretty tired team, unless you're going to have a big break between round 1 and round 2. to let the Canadian division.
As it stands now, I think the Leafs would get Montreal, so that's a lot less travel, right?
Yeah, that should be 4-game sweep.
Well, considering the way Montreal is, yeah, I'm not going to say you're wrong there.
How long has this country, not me personally, because I'm an Islander fan, but how long has this country been waiting for a Montreal-Toronto series and nobody can go to it?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Like it's been since the 70s they played each other, right? I'm pretty sure it was the last time.
Well, that Montreal was pretty powerful through the 70s, because I know that
and they beat them
75 to 79. They won the cup 4 times in a row there.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, I think it was Boston and Philadelphia, and then Montreal won it again in like 73. 74, I think.
No, 74 and 75 was Philadelphia. 73 was the Canadian. 71 was also the Canadian. 72 was Boston. So was 70.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So I guess somewhere along the line through those years that Montreal would have played Toronto. But then,
I think it was around 70.
Toronto sucked for a lot of years too, right?
Yeah.
Harold Ballard, that fucking old cranky bastard, You know, he fucking
I think the year
first on
that,
that team.
I think the year that Lanny McDonald scored against the Islanders in Game 7 when they upset the Islanders, I think
Yep.
that's the year they played Montreal and got swept 4 straight.
Okay. That was the year. That was the last year the Canadians then would have won the cup, because then the next year
they won 78 and 79.
Who did?
Canadians.
Yeah, but they owned that decade, and then in the early part of the 80s, it was all the Islanders.
Yeah,
and then middle 80s, it was Edmonton.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
last time we actually really saw any dynasties, right?
Yeah, in the 80s, it was pretty much 4 for the Islanders, 4 for the Oilers, and 1 for the Flames.
Yeah.
And there must have been another one tossed in there somewhere. Who? Montreal, 86.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Pete Gretzky.
Yeah. So, yeah, it should be interesting, though, to see.
Yeah. Well, we get lots of hockey now for the rest of the spring, and obviously, it's fucking COVID putting a big hamper on our lives, and it's, you know, at least we can sit at home and, you know, get the dogs out for a walk before all the games start, or in between the 2 games, the early games and then the later games. Yeah, something to do.
Absolutely, for sure. So I guess our last matchup is down to the Living Skies Capitals and the East Coast Brewers, the Fire Partners going at it. Afghanistan Buds, and Al called them out, but not this week. not this week. Donald's got your number this week, but look at that horrid goaltending, 892 to 872. Oh my God, man, there's been some really bad goaltending in a lot.
Well, remember last week I did predict that there was going to be some blowout scores, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
Save percentages are pretty much shown across the top, and into these games that guess what? Everybody's got, you know, the sieve is out.
Yep. Al's still looking pretty solid, though, for Game 3.
Yeah, so, I think so, too.
So it's still looking like it's going to be a Living Skies Capitals victory there. So
yeah,
basically what I think we're looking at here right now as we're looking at Blake with the 14th overall, or correction, the 13th overall pick, and Moose Lake Jagger with the 14th overall pick. Living Skies Capitals are going to get 11th, and the Brewers are going to get 12th, and it looks like the Bears at 9 and the Lakers at 10. At least that's how I see it right now.
Well, you know what, and that being said, you know what, the Bears are gonna be scary next year, because they are going to get another top 10 pick, and I think he's carrying over pretty much a lot of his team. And
I haven't really taken a look at it. I'm already talking trade with him for McDavid.
Oh,
he's rebuilding, man.
He's not rebuilding. Go look at his team.
I'll have to take a look at it after, but yeah.
And recap.
I'll definitely.
I honestly think that he's got contender status next year. There's no question.
Okay,
and,
maybe
with another top pick, and him, and now look at Rene too. You know, Rene's gonna carry over a pretty decent team, and you know, like, it's not gonna be a cakewalk for anybody that thinks that they can go from the bottom to the top right away. You know,
I have no doubt Rene will be competing for the Bossy Division crown next year. I have no doubt in my mind. Oh, St. Louis just scored 1-0 in the third.
Oh, it's got to be O'Reilly. That fucking guy's being on fire.
No, not O'Reilly. Who is that? Bozak.
Oh,
Bozak still is.
Victoria kid.
Yeah.
Played for the Salsa.
Yeah. From Falk and Shen.
Yep. He got that team all the way to the Centennial Cup.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That must have been while I was in the air. Was I in the Air Force then when that was happening?
Probably you were in Moose Jaw, I think.
Yeah.
Because that would have been 15 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that would have been exactly.
Years old, 19 years old.
I'd have been gone.
Because he went to college hockey after he left the BCHL. And then he went to Toronto.
Yeah.
Career. Right? Stanley Cup champ too.
That's yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we shall move on to the consolation round here and check out how that's going on. I don't. Let me see. I'm just going to bring up. I'll just bring up.
Fucking RK's just smiling.
Well, he got lucky. He got lucky. The Islanders finally decided to get going, or took till the 6th week to finally play up to their potential. Jerks. But for me, well, we'll get to that in a second when I get there. But here, let me bring up the.
Well, because I'm just saying that RK, because he's got the guys' picks in this bracket.
Sure. Oh yeah, 5 and 6. I mean, that's just gonna be insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that
he's just got such a solid team to go up with. It's unreal. So basically, we got.
He's going to compete next year. I don't know if he's going to be strong enough for the top teams, but it'll be a tough one for him to tank next year.
Yeah. Yeah, but oh man, if he could do it and get McDavid or something, that would be unreal.
Fuck. Draisaitl and McDavid back to back.
That would be crazy.
Fuck, man. You know, like that's kind of like fucking getting Gretzky and Yari Curry, right?
Yep, pretty much. All right, let's go into some of these games and check it out here. So we already knew that for 5th overall pick that Flying Colors were going to be we're going to get that spot, and then they just ensured themselves of getting it with a 6-1, or well, it's not over yet, but they're winning 6-1. And so in that scenario, for anything that happened to the Flames would have been if Sealand wins, the Flames could have lost 6th overall pick.
Yep.
But it looks like they're not going to win. So in that case, that means Pitter Patter will move up from 8th to 7th and put Sealand back to 8th.
Yeah. Well, movers and shakers, right?
Yeah. It's
look at that save percentage again for both those teams.
For 886 to 888.
Fucking 42 points though.
That's
42 points.
Yeah, that's Garrow.
Is that Wes? Is that the guy that you were trash talking all year?
No, it's Garrow. That's who I've been trying
to okay, sorry.
Flying Colors. Wes is the Flames.
Okay.
And he just kind of shit the bed this week. So it doesn't really matter to Wes anyway, because he doesn't have the 1st overall pick. We all know the Bruins got that one. So yeah, it's looking really good for Ryan Kelly right now with 5th and 6th locked up. So the way I'm seeing this right now, with both games being 6-1, is I see Flying Colors at 5th, Flames of Fleury at 6th, and Pitter Patter at 7th, and Sealand at 8th.
Yep.
Yeah. Seems to be going that way.
It's you know, like again, like looking at those scores, could you just quickly pull up the other score in that division?
Which one? Oh, the Pitter Patter. It's close.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
It's not close anymore.
Okay, so they're a 920 save percentage. There's your league leading team in save percentage at this point, and that's, you know, everybody else is less than 900.
Yep.
That that it's in my mind. I can't remember what maybe the Bears and the Lakers game. I think maybe the Bears were over 900. But in reality, the goaltending numbers at this time of the year just are not there like they were earlier.
Both the Bears and the Lakers were over 900, and both moves like Jagger and the Oilers are under, and the Rangers are under, and you're under, and JP's under. The goaltending is taking a really big hit this week.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting scored on.
Even more reason why I think on those fantasy stats and those categories, I honestly think that it should go for the full 80 game season, 56 game season this year, obviously. But when you divvy the money up for the scoring teams,
well, that's what it is now. Once upon a time,
is it?
Once upon a time, it used to be regular season. But the only reason it was regular season, if you remember our old format for the consolation round, the teams that were eliminated were playing 2 games. Where the teams in the playoffs,
that's right too.
Teams in the playoffs were only playing 1 game, so it would have been unfair, right? So we did it at the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
Last year we did it at the end of the season for the first time, and we'll be continuing that way for the rest of the time. So
all right, I stand corrected. My apologies, sir.
Oh no, well, it really wasn't. I don't really think we made a big announcement about it of any sort, but yeah, that's the way it is now. So it's after the regular season. It makes sense.
But this is kind of a situation that I look at that when you say, okay, well, if the last week of the season and everybody's shitting the bed with their goaltending, that could change categories, right?
Good.
It could change.
Yep.
Somewhere along the line, and those categories in my, like, this is my opinion, is that if you're dishing out a little bit, some guys might be looking at it, going over the long haul, going, hey, wait a second here, I'm not really that strong, but I seem to be getting a lot of penalty minutes. So they might not be inclined to trade those picks away, because at least they can get themselves a little bit of money, right?
Yep,
Do
absolutely.
you keep Tom Wilson instead of trading him for, Dylan Dubé? I think it's a good trade for both teams.
Yeah.
For that trade, because you got Dylan Dubé, who I really think is an up and comer, and you can probably still prospect him because he missed a bunch of games, and so you get to sit on him for another year before he's even ready. So, but that, like if I was at the bottom and I got Tom Wilson and I'm going, fuck, if I get Dylan Dubé, or I can, pick up $50 or whatever. I don't know what the price is, but
I can't remember. I know they were $15 a thing. I knew we had some talk about them possibly going to 25. I can't remember which way it went.
Yeah. Whatever you guys decide, I think it's all good for most.
Al knows, so he's the finance guy, but I can't remember. It could still be $15 a category. I can't remember.
But
I thought it should have been. I know I thought
right?
It should have been 25, but whatever.
Not at $50.
No, definitely not at $50. So yeah, so technically, actually, we actually have to half that this year too.
Hey, by the way, Skipper, fucking send me my notice for how much I pay. I think it's your job to do that. I'm not going to do it for myself.
Well, you were just telling everybody in the league to do that.
I wasn't as stoned as I am now.
All right, so let's go to the first overall pick. We know that the Bruin Ups and Suds wrapped up the first overall pick last week, but looks like they're losing to the Islanders right now pretty badly, 6-1. And the Mustangs and the Outlaws, it looks like the Outlaws is winning right now. So as of right now, it looks like Bruins first, Courtney Islanders second, Outlaws third, and Macaulay Mustang's going to be fourth overall pick.
Nah, fuck, you know what? I went in the fourth spot anyway, so I didn't gain any advantage.
That's true.
So it is what it is. You know what? And guess what? I think that it doesn't matter. Like, if RK's got 3 of the top 6 picks, that still means the other 3 guys are still going to come out of this with some pretty good players.
Yes. It meant a lot to me.
Like Draisaitl, if you look at the scoring right now and you base it on last year, so you look at who's hot right now, it's obviously McDavid and Draisaitl. So him picking up Draisaitl is essentially picking up 15 points on every other player except for McDavid.
Yeah, he got his 80th point tonight, eh?
Yeah.
56, now 53, 54 games or whatever.
Yeah. And, so for Ryan, obviously getting Draisaitl, but then you go, whoever you want. I mean, does somebody take Carlson early? Does a goalie go early, right? So forwards are going to drop back possibly to the 5-6 slot. So, and I don't think that the amount of points between the guys that could be anywhere from say 3 to 10 might be 6-7 points at best.
IFL scored for RK, got him a goal.
Oh, did he score again?
Yeah, no, it's 1-1 now between St. Louis and LA. IFL.
Okay.
I got to tell you though, it was a little scary for me because for me, I'm going to be honest about it. I really wanted second place, and there's one guy I prefer over the other guy. So not that the other guy's bad in any sorts, but I just prefer the guy that I'm going to go with over instead of having maybe you scoop him from me. So I didn't want that happening. I'm not sure you would have anyway, but you might have.
The way I'm thinking already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But definitely it was a little scary for me because Ryan jumped out of the gates this week, and he was ahead of me for the first 6 days of this week.
And you caught him last night?
But well, what happened was he was 13 plus minus ahead of me, and I outdid him in one night by 15 to put me ahead by 2.
See, I told you earlier, eh? Yeah. 15 in one night.
15 in one night. I was plus 9 and he was a minus 6. And so that, or no, he was minus 4. So
okay.
or no, I went 15 over because I went +2, so it would have been 6. Yeah, so that made a big difference for me. And also there was a point there, Ryan had jumped out to a huge penalty minute lead on me. I think it was 16-4 at one time. And
Yeah,
of
he hit
course,
that 17. So he hit that 17 again.
no, he didn't hit, Ryan didn't hit 17, but he just
Oh
jumped
no.
out. Everybody was 2-minuting it to death. And none of my guys, my team hardly ever gets any penalty minutes. But I have Yanni Gretzky. And not only does Yanni Gretzky get points, but when you need 12 minutes and penalties, TK, Yanni Gretzky's there for you. And hey, before I go, I'll toss you in an assist as well. So take care, TK. I love Yanni Gretzky, man. He's one of my all-time favorite fantasy players I've ever had. And that just turned my whole week around, and I've been barnstorming since then. And Jake Allen, who he's scavenged off me, has kept his save percentage down. So it's looking good for me in this one. I got a good feeling I'm going to grab second overall spot here. Now, what about you? This is interesting because what we talked about, you got a lot of. Do you have Calgary guys? Or is it
I
just,
got Goodrow.
you got Goodrow. So you got Goodrow, Miller,
And Miller.
And who?
JT Miller.
Don't you have? I thought you had another Canuck.
He Vertinen.
Oh yeah, right.
You know, he
So
likes to
anyway,
think with his dink.
but especially the way Goodrow's been playing lately, if you got another, 3 games out of each of those 2 players, you could have a shot of actually catching back up on JP.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? I don't. People are going to draft in front of me, and they're going to take the players. I'm still coming out of it, and I'm going to be smiling anyway too. So
absolutely.
You know what? Is it like for you? You're getting the ultimate choice because you know you're not getting Draisaitl.
Yeah.
So you know in your mind that you've got the summer to somebody say, well, okay, what is my need, right? And or what can I best plug in that's gonna actually be helpful for me? You know, I think next year you're gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. So
I should have goaltending.
You got the goaltending, and you got the pretty stellar defense already, and you add a couple of good forwards in there through the draft this year, with all a couple of prospects you got to sign, and the fact that you got fucking Kucherov and Tarasenko possibly for full years next year. Fuck off, man.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
You're gonna be top heavy.
And I got Forsberg as well for 4.
Yeah, exactly.
For 3, and there's some good guys in there. I should be competitive next year. I'm hoping to be anyway. However, I'm forced in a year earlier to sign Sorokin. I didn't want to, but I got no faith in Bobrovsky and Bishop as a tandem. So.
Fuck, man! If you're gonna, you can trade Bobrovsky to me. I'll give you a 5th round pick for him.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
What? He's not worth any more. You got no fucking faith in him.
I'll keep him. I'll keep him. Not for a 5th. Wouldn't even take a 2nd for him.
It's obvious he doesn't play well under your tutelage. So you might as well send him back to me, and he can go win another cup.
See, me, I was starting to think it was Florida, but I think maybe it's him. I was watching him the other night. He plays so small. He crouches. Really? Yeah, he crouches down so low. He shows he's an athletic goaltender, right? So he's in that crouch position, ready to pounce, right? And but because of that, he leaves up so much goal to shoot at. I mean, and that's why he's getting scored on, in my opinion. Like, everybody's going roof daddy now on every single goaltender.
And
every single goaltender.
Maybe the books, they're on him now, and that's what's happened is that they know.
That book is on every goaltender in the NHL right now. Everybody's going high. It's the only way you can score now. These guys just put their legs down and pillows cover the bottom, and so you go high. If you get up there, you score. If you don't, you don't. And that's pretty much what's happening right now. So yeah.
So you know what?
You're only 12 points behind now. You were more than that. You were more than that.
Fucking half my guys are injured, and fucking 4 more of them aren't even in lineups. Brendan Smith turned out to be a pretty good pickup at off the waiver wire there. I'm almost thinking that I have to look at possibly drafting him maybe the 7th or 8th round this year rather than letting him slide in the waiver area, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, eh?
Yeah, we're not going to get much of the late night games. So basically 4 goals out of 2 games.
Yeah.
Let's see who got the
goal. That division's finished, eh?
Which one?
So Carolina's got a chance to be the #1 overall team.
Yep. Get the dreaded curse of the President's Trophy. Oh, no. Newhook got a point.
That's his second one, too.
Yep.
Attaboy. Hey, you know what? There's a prospect next year for anybody. You got to be thinking that he's going to be slotting in there behind.
He was pretty good on Team Canada, right?
Huh?
He was pretty good on Team Canada.
Yeah, but I don't think they won gold.
No, they did not. No, they did not. It doesn't look like not much there either. Not much time left in either. Oh, 9:28, 9:38 left in those games. So yeah, so that kind of wraps up the week, I guess. In an overall picture, I would say we've got a really exciting finals coming down with Dean and Bo going head to head. The beauty of this whole thing is that I have no idea who's going to win it. I really don't. And I just hope it's not anticlimactic. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of 1-2 days before the season ends. You know what I mean? I would love it to come down, even if there's only one game going that night. But if it came down to somebody in that game, it would be awesome.
Well, you know what? And I think maybe that I don't think the Calgary and Vancouver guys are going to affect the guys up at the top. The only way that it can have any effect, I think it's going to be for seedings for the final playoff positions, because,
right,
like you said, if I can actually come back with, say, Goudreau and Miller, who I think both of them are playing pretty decently right now.
Yeah, that's right. No, I thought you were.
Like they could out me, but you know what? If they don't, I don't give a shit either. I really like the idea that the finals, the real finals, are going to be dictated based on the players on their team having played the full season.
Yeah,
I like that because the numbers talk.
That's true. That's true. It's only fair. It's only fair, but I just got a feeling, because that really puts them way behind. If they go to the 19th, like they're playing in the 19th. What? Like I guess it's possible that they could start the playoffs while Vancouver and Calgary are over there playing.
Yeah, on the east side, in all the other divisions, they could do that.
They can do it,
and then hope that the West just catches up based on a sweep here and a sweep there.
The other guys are all going to catch up within a matter of days here, other than about 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
Like I think
but you know what? Here's the other thing too, Terry, that going back to that topic of you're saying that you think, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think you got some very valid points there. The other side of the coin is the players themselves might be hoping that all those games will be played, because you've already said it. These guys are dog tired. And if they're tired, if that means that the other teams are playing, there's going to be Calgary and Vancouver, they're not in the playoffs. That's going to help those teams rest their players up and, get a little bit more healthier before the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at the floor. It's almost drying, the cement. Almost. It's almost done.
Is that the new arena for the Islanders?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a beaut. I've watched the whole thing get built right from the ground up. It's amazing, man. These guys are freaking geniuses how they do this. Like, to watch, it was mind-boggling, man. People think of it as construction, but what I saw was one massive, whoever the fuck put that all together. It's like, wow, genius. Like, to know everybody's coming at this time and you're doing that there. Oh my God, it's nuts. It was insane.
Hey, you're not recording, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you did that to me last week too. I told you this week I was just going to let her roll, so that was going to be.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have any final thoughts on this week in the zone on playoff recap?
I think that I had fun in the pool this year. I mean, I really like the idea of the podcast, like it's something that was new to the league next year or this year. And yeah, it's good. It's creative participation. And I've already said it before, lots of good trades this year.
Yeah.
And lots that sometimes weren't made. But at least there was opportunities. People were actually conversing, and maybe COVID helped in that way because people were like bored and whatever. And I, like I say, I tip my hat to UNL and thank you for the efforts you guys put in.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like I said, even doing these podcasts and just making sure that keeping everything up to date, and that I take a lot of pride in that. I like everybody to be able to come in. I remember being on the outside, like when I was in Goss's pool and that, and sometimes waiting for stuff, and it was, oh man, come on, man, I want to know. Well, you know what I mean? And
well, but you know what? You got a good point there. Back in the day in the West Coast hockey pool, I don't know if you remember.
I do the Excel. I was in the Excel one year.
No. Before that, Jeff Cooper, he lived in Mississauga, and he actually produced one of the original hockey pools that was online, that the stats were automatic.
Oh, okay.
As the games were progressing. Yeah. And the only thing it didn't calculate, it was plus minus. So you always still had to wait for overnight for that to happen. But it was an online website, and it was amazing. It's too bad the guy beat me in the finals, and then the next year he fucking said he didn't want to come back, and that's when Excel came in. And that's, I think, you actually got his franchise, actually, now that we're talking about it.
By the way, I should mention before we go here that I think it's 19 or 20 years the Smeel Cup's been awarded, and that was Renee's second win in 20 years. So for the people out there, if you're hoping to win it, it could be a while sometimes, especially if we keep letting Renee keep winning, I guess, all the time. I guess
it's not going to happen here.
Right? Not this year.
That three's going to hang in there for a little while as the league leader. I think that he can add to it. There's no question. Yeah. But I really think that this year there was a lot of mentoring that went on in teams that were trying to win, and for teams that were trying to lose. And
Renee kept telling me to shut up on my podcast. He goes, well, you're giving away all the secrets. And I said, I want everybody to be good. I do. I want it to be really competitive, and that's what it's turning out to be.
Yeah. Well, just because we've been in multiple pools together for many years, I would probably say that the Goss brothers have their own pool, and then Renee and Dale did the West Coast, and UNL do this one. And this year's trades and interaction was by far and away better than any of the others. Not even close. Like adding the podcasts, the activity amongst the general managers.
Yeah.
Because not every trade was made. We don't know everything.
I am still hoping to get the winner of this year on right after they win the Bremen Cup and do about
I think that should be mandatory. That should be part of the league rules.
That should be mandatory, now, right?
You win, you close the season.
There's only one person I have yet to meet in this pool, and I've still not met Bo, and he seems to be avoiding my podcast some here. So I want to get a hold of Bo because I want to know everybody in the league.
Yeah. Well, fuck, when he fucking vetoed the trade between me and Nick, hey, I get it, fuck, whatever. And I almost was going to be a smart ass, and I'm glad that I didn't, because he fucking proven me wrong. It's like fucking Bo knows football. Bo doesn't know hockey. Well, fucking, he's actually showed me he knows hockey, right?
Oh yeah,
so
he knows what's going on.
For once, I shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bo has done an excellent job with it.
Fuck you, Bo. You got to be on the fucking podcast, man, if you win it.
Well, and Dean's
now I want him to win.
Now you want him to win, so he'll come on. You heard it, Bo. I hope you're listening to these things because I want you on at the end. So I think that's about all we got for this week. I want to thank Macaulay Mustangs owner Keith Salter for coming out tonight. Thanks a lot for being here, Keith. And I'll just give you the last say if you'd like.
Yeah, let's anybody interested in doing a point playoff pool, let's post something up on the message board there in the pool and see who's all involved.
Myself personally, I'm by the end of fantasy season, I'm always burned out for the playoff pool. Yeah. So
okay, well, fuck you. It's not all about Jerry.
But hey, there you go. You know, Keith wants to organize something. If anybody's interested in one of those pools, just let them know, and you can get something.
And good luck and enjoy your off season, boys. And fucking let's get those trade lines opened up as quick as we can after the draft and stuff.
Yep. Well, and not only that, the draft opens a month before the season starts, or I mean the trading deadline or trading opens a month before, so we can get some action happening there too. So you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, lots of movement could happen because you're going to get guys that were competing this year that might all of a sudden want to become sellers, and you know, it's great interaction and it keeps the pool going even in the doldrums of the summer season.
Yeah, I might come out with a couple things. Who knows? If anybody ever wants to look at it, they can look at it. I don't care if I'm talking to four walls.
Well, we know we already know both RK needs to make some trades. There's just no way he can carry over everything. He's not going to have the contract years to do it all. So you know he has to make trades. Well, I think you have to make some trades.
You think I got?
Sorry?
Yeah, well, RK is already jonesing to make a trade. I can tell you that right now. It's in his what he does. What he turned his roster over 3 complete times this year, I think. Like, see, he had like 60 players.
Yeah. Well, fuck, you know what? That's what I said. There was a lot of mentoring that went on this year, right?
Yeah. Well, Ryan is quickly moving ahead of the game here. He's got his own. He's got his own strategies now. He's listened, he's learned, and now he's putting his.
And that's an advantage of these podcasts, right? You know,
I hope so.
Veteran guys, you know, like Renee, you got him on, and you've got Dean on, and these guys are savvy guys that have been in the pool industry for years, and they just get it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
it took me some time, like. I know Keith came up here to Comox one time. I can't remember if it was for the WCHP or if it was this draft, but
I think it was both.
Could have been. Yeah, I think maybe it was. But anyway, Keith gave me some really good advice that weekend on what his theory of how to build a team was, and I listened and I learned from that, and I because I thought he was right to just talk to people and that and say, I try to pick Ryan Kelly's brain all the time. Like I go, I really want to know, does he foresee these trades? You know what I mean? Like, is he seeing 2 trades down the road? Like, I'm getting that guy because I'm going to trade him to that guy to get that guy. And then once I get that guy, I'm going to trade him to that guy so that I get this guy.
Right.
Like, yeah. Is he that clairvoyant that he sees that?
Well, you know.
And how are you sure everybody's going to agree?
Well, you know what? One of the biggest, the sneakiest things that I ever did, it was in the West Coast days, and I was going into a season and like I was a lot like in say your position where you're going to have some picks and you got some prospects that are coming along really good, so you're going to be able to supplement yourself really well. If you take advantage of what you've got right away, it can make drastic changes to your team. And I personally, as far as like when the pool started here, the first thing that I went after was goalies, and then the second thing I went after was defense.
Yeah, I went after goalies too.
Yeah, and then you know, like forwards. Now let's all be honest here. We know the forwards are really important, especially the Dreisaitl's and the McDavids, or back in the days, Ovechkin, Malkin, Crosby. You know, these guys were the elite guys in those days. And unless you're picking in the top 3, you were never getting these guys.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
It makes such a difference to get one of those guys on your team. It's
Yes,
unreal.
it does.
And if
Yeah.
you can get a
Well,
couple of them, man, it's huge. And
look at
then you make some trades.
Renee and Dean. I mean, their goaltending was kind of fucking sick, right?
Yeah.
So they've got goalies that are above and beyond, way better than any of the other goalies in the leagues. So how important is McDavid as opposed to Vasilevsky? Obviously, McDavid, he's a 3 category guy, really.
Yeah. And
the most valuable player in fantasy is Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah. Points.
Right? Like he gets points, he gets plus minus, and he gets penalty minutes.
Yeah.
So that's 5 categories that he's collecting every time. Goals, assists, points.
Yep.
Plus minus. So that makes him strong. A guy like, say, McDavid, who, I don't know, he gets his penalties, but he's not like more than 50. So, and then traditionally in his career, he's a minus player. Yeah. This year, I do not believe he is a minus player. But again, if he plays the entire league, is he?
Well, that's what I said to Dan. I said, Dan, how do you have 67 points and you're -2? How?
See, that's perfect, right? Like, fuck, how that's you can't predict plus minus.
67 points of -2. I'm guessing 40 of those points were on the power play.
Well,
man, that's crazy. That's just crazy. And then Renee, who plus 20 at 40 points.
Yeah. But see, Renee is actually drafted for the more steady guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like he across the board, he's always good plus minus, and he's always good penalty minutes.
Yep.
And then his forwards are 50 to 70 point guys.
Yeah, they're all rounded for sure. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to maybe we'll do a what do you call that when you get like a hot stove or a hot league or something in the summertime. Some veteran guys get together and maybe talk about how they built teams and do stuff like that. It might be interesting to some people to do, and it's just an excuse for me.
Yeah, you know what? That's because it's like anything. If you just throw like this, Zoom is obviously good. I didn't realize until the last couple of weeks how decent it is, because I mean I've been Zooming with other people the last couple of weeks, and it's actually pretty good. Yeah. And rather than sitting on the phone and not seeing somebody's face, you can actually see the face, right?
Absolutely.
And so expressions mean a lot. So yeah, I'd be down for that, and I'd fucking certainly make sure that I get that fucking big bastard up on Triangle Mountain.
Get Dean. Well, we'll have to get his team in to help him out to get him on. So we'll have to contact Dean's team.
Yeah. And, all right. So anyway, on that final thought, good season, boys, and. It was a fun league, and again, a hat tip to Alan Terry mostly, because I'll just rather fucking drink tequila and fly planes.
That's right. And take your money.
Yeah. Thanks for the donation again. Oh, I didn't win any money this year, so. But anyway, all right, boys, have a good season, and we'll see you sometime in the middle of August.
Yeah,
we'll start chatting.
Well, you never know. Like I said, some of these podcasts, so we might do that as well. So you never know. All right. And my final words are, before we go here, is I want to give a big shout out to Renee for winning the second Smale Cup over the WCHP, and a big shout out to Dan the man for that 67-point record.
Oh man,
and that was outstanding. And best of luck to Bo and Dean. It's going to be exciting. So, boys, take her easy and peace out. I had a good ending on